my friends, Coach Tom here again. This is lesson 3 of our beginner serve series. So we've learned the basics of the serve. We've learned a little bit about how to aim the ball, how to control kind of where we want that ball to go. And I think one of the last things that's really important for you guys to understand is that power is not really how you make an effective serve, right? You don't have to have power to be effective. The idea behind adding power, or the trick behind adding power, the thing with adding power is that it reduces your margin for error, right? Until you have mastery of spin, the harder you hit that ball over the net into the court for serves, the lower it's got to be to the net, which means obviously, again, you're reducing that margin for error and giving yourself less of a chance to actually make those serves. So instead, you guys, as newer players, as beginner players, and actually as even advanced and intermediate players, I want you guys to be able to vary your serve. Don't worry about power, worry about being able to vary it. Where you place it, how deep, how short, left, right, all those things. That's really going to be the biggest benefit for you guys at this level, is being able to kind of keep your opponent guessing, keep that returner from kind of keying off of your return, right? If you give them the same exact serve every single time, it's not going to be real difficult for them to finally groove that swing and start taking advantage of a weaker serve. But if you can mix it up, you can vary it with pace, with height, with depth, all those different things, that's going to give you a significant advantage. So when I'm talking about mixing up pace, what I'm talking about is 10 miles an hour to 20 miles an hour, or 20 to 40, not 100 to 110, right? We don't need that, and we can't do that effectively. In terms of varying direction, right, you've got left half of the box, right half of the box, but you also have height and depth, right? If I can hit a really short serve, right, if I can kind of, oh yeah, I got lucky on that one. That one actually got really lucky, it just hit the net and kind of dropped over. But if I can hit, which by the way would be a let, it's in the tennis terminology section, but if I can hit a really short ball on one and make that opponent really run in, and then the next one I hit, that ball is significantly deeper, and now my opponent actually has to back up. I didn't change the pace of that serve at all. All I did was change the height and where that ball landed. So the first serve that I hit there, my opponent would have had to be standing somewhere on or near the service line to return that ball. The second one, they would have been standing on or behind the baseline to return that ball. Same pace, just a little bit of different height. Okay, you guys, so in lesson 2, we talked about kind of that directional control, and that's how you're going to work this here in your level 3 or lesson 3 in terms of using your hips and your shoulders to kind of direct where that ball is going to go. All right, so let's quickly go over the 1, 2, and 3 serves that we talked about in this series, and then I'm going to give you guys 2 drills that you can use to practice these serves. Okay, so in our first lesson, lesson 1, we basically just kind of learned how to get the ball over and in, that 1, 2, 3 model of hitting serves, okay? So it's racket ready, ball toss, bump. That's really all we're going to do in that level 1, lesson 1 serve. Then we went to lesson 2 where we started adding a little bit of direction, a little bit of control, a little bit of movement into the court towards where we want that ball to go. So we're going to have that same 1, 2, but now we're actually moving into the court a little bit to help us with our direction, and that's going to come into play here in lesson 3. So if you guys can see, I've actually just laid my old t-shirt out on the court to split the box into left and right halves. And that's the drill we're going to do. We're going to try to aim for the left half and the right half, okay? So in lesson 2, you guys, we talked about playing service games, scoring service games. And we're going to do the same thing here, but it's going to be a little bit trickier. We're going to actually split the box into 2 halves, right? So now when I'm serving, I actually have to call left half or right half. Okay, so I'm going to step up here. I'm at love. I'm going to make my serve, and I'm going to call left or right. And I'm going to use kind of that directional control, that hips and shoulders and stepping towards my target in order to get that ball to where I want to go. And if you kind of, it's pretty subtle, but if you notice, right, I'll kind of scooch out here a little bit, but if I'm stepping this way, that's going to give me one direction. That's going to give me one serve, right? If I step this way, that's a little bit of a different serve, right? So you can actually use that step to kind of steer that ball left and right in the box, okay? So let's try a couple and see how we do. I'm gonna say here, I'm gonna choose the left half of the box, so that's where I've got to hit that serve. Just getting into the box doesn't count in this game. I have to actually get it into the left half of that box. Love. I missed it, okay? So now I get my second serve. Remember, right, you get 2 chances. So racket ready, ball toss, up, and I got it. Again, I'm using that 1-2-3 model, that racket ready, ball toss, hit model. I'm hitting up and out, and I'm aiming for the left half of that box. So now it would be 15 love, and I'd slide over to the ad court. Okay, I don't have the t-shirt set up over here. I can kind of eyeball it. I'm going to say right half. And since I'm kind of getting that little step, I'm going to actually start a little bit further back so that I don't foot fault, right? So racket ready, ball toss. Ooh, I don't like that one. Let's try that again, right? Again, if you toss the ball and you don't like it, let it drop, catch it. As long as you don't swing, it doesn't count as a serve, okay? So racket ready, ball toss, up and out. That was pretty close. I'm going to say that landed right on the line, but let's say, for argument's sake, that it landed on the left side. I get my second serve. I didn't make that one. 1, 2, 3. That one was actually a little bit wide, so I lose the point. It's now 15 all, and I go back and I go to the deuce court and try again. Okay, you guys, remember what we talked about. Always have that second ball with you. So I've got one in my hand, one in my pocket. I'm ready to actually hit my second serve if I miss my first. I don't want to leave my opponent sitting out there waiting for me to figure out what I'm going to do, looking around for a ball, chasing around the court. That disrupts the flow of play. So always have that second ball with you. All right, last one, 15 all, right side. Okay, I got it, and that game would continue on as such. Again, it's a great drill that you guys can do on your own without a partner out here. I do have a great game that you guys can play with a partner. I'm gonna grab my friend Emily and we're gonna come back out here and we're gonna show you that. It's basically like horse when you were playing basketball as a kid. One person makes a shot, the other person has to follow. I'll show you guys that drill in a second. She gets a letter, and then we move on. That's it, you guys. We should have our serves pretty well down at this point in terms of getting them in, having a little bit of control directionally, right? And we talked about that left-right thing. If you guys are feeling pretty good about this, actually work on the up and back, right? You can split the box in half going vertically, right? Short and long, and work on short serves and long serves. But hopefully you guys are feeling pretty comfortable with this. You're making your serves. Be sure to send me your comments, your questions, anything that you guys want to know so that we can help build this game together, work on these serves, and get you guys out there having a lot of fun. That's it, you guys. I'll see you next time.